one is going off.
So this is it, huh?
Yeah.
So cool.
Welcome to the big show.
I had to take off this little. I kept on like a little sticky note over my camera on my laptop for like 3 years.
Because there's like a lot of people who try and spy on you all the time, so makes sense.
I put it on like 3 years ago when everyone was like, "Make sure you got something over your camera."
Very wise. I try and do this thing. I don't like people being in my business digitally. I try and keep people kind of out of what I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty private. Pretty hard to keep track of these days. So are you back to this whole being up late, waking up real late during the day thing?
Yeah, kind of. Unfortunately, it's like not really bad yet, but just like the past 2 days, it's just our AC is broken. It gets fixed tomorrow morning, but it takes so long, for the house to like. I basically have to wait for the outside temperature to cool down enough to be able to go to sleep.
Oh, jeez.
And even then, like I think the house has been like, it's been like 81 or 82 when I've gone to sleep the last 2 nights, which is like pretty hot for inside of a house.
That's miserable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like anything other than the ceiling fan?
No, I mean, I get all the windows open and there's like, sometimes there'll be enough wind for it to like push things through, but it only gets down to like probably the high 70s at night. So it's like, but it should be all fixed by tomorrow.
That sounds like my freshman year dorm. That is the year that I had to learn how to sleep without a blanket.
Yeah.
I never in my life had ever been able to. And then it's the same kind of thing. Like I didn't have AC at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was broken. It just was such an old building. And so I would have to like sleep in minimal clothing on top of my blankets. And it was so strange, like adjusting to it. But I did that. It was like one of the hottest years in Indy in so long until October. It was miserable.
I think having to sleep without air conditioning in freshman dorms is a cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, agreed. And we couldn't have our own AC units. We had to bring in fans.
Yeah, it's like against the rules, right?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to use anything because the circuits are just so old. If that many people are going to use them,
we had the same thing, but some people would just get them anyways. And then like this one girl had it. So we had like floor 1 was boys, floor 2 was girls, and then floor 3 was boys.
Mm-hmm.
And this one girl had like an air conditioner. And one of the nights, it was literally so hot. I didn't even really know her that well, but I literally like brought my bedding up and just like curled up in a ball on her floor and like slept on the hard floor. But it was so much better than being down like hot ass LA cinder block dorm.
Yeah, they had okay, so the first floor of my dorm was co-ed. Half of it was boys, half of it was girls, and it was all air conditioned. So you tried to make friends with someone on the first floor, and then we had lounges that were all air conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it's kind of funny. Like it kind of forced you to make friends, but we would all just gather in the lounges and stay cool for 20, 30 minutes at a time. And yeah.
Yeah. Also, when it got really bad, in the honors dorm, there's like 7 floors, and I guess it somehow was like worse there than other places.
Mm-hmm.
And the lounges were the only places that were air conditioned, and the lounges would be full of people sleeping because it was just like
that bad.
Yeah, like there was a room with a piano, and that room would be like full of people asleep. So crazy.
That's terrible. So awful.
I'm pulling that chat up here besides us.
Oh, you're good.
So Poppy said, "Yo." Naomi said, "Hey Maddie, I need to head to bed in a few minutes, but I had to pop in to say hi, and I missed you, lol." Toby-Wan Kenobi, good night. I like Maddie. Maddie is good people.
Yep.
I lived in no air dorm at Tamu for 4 years. Exactly how I made friends in the lounge.
Yeah.
Tamu, I imagine, would be the worst place besides like Arizona to not have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ryan's here too. What's up, Ryan?
Oh, hi Naomi. What's up, girl? I thought that you had a long work week ahead of you, so good luck with that. I was reading the chats a little bit ago. This is like it's oddly like mesmerizing to come on and just like even when you're doing nothing, I'm like,
Might as well pop on.
Yeah, like if I'm bored, I'm like, what's Michael doing?
That's awesome. That's what I want. Toby-Wan Kenobi, it made us tough. I don't believe it.
Did you have communal showers or did you have private showers?
We had private showers.
Oh, you're
You
like
you had communal, so you had like one big room.
Oh, no, it was one like okay, so we've got I think there were like 2 bathrooms or 3 bathrooms per floor. And so we would share, yeah, it was disgusting, but there would be 6 showers.
Oh no, we had the same thing. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think you meant like one big shower room.
No.
There are
Mm-mm.
places that have that. A lot of the boarding schools I almost went to had that.
Really? Sounds terrible.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I was visiting one of them, and I like stayed the night, and I woke up, and I was like, I'm not gonna use this shower. Like I'm just gonna wash my head in the sink, and
That's funny, actually. I feel like my lighting is funny. This is a bad camera. It's a Dell computer, though, so
you should put some tape over it.
not better.
We had one big shower. That's when I turned gay.
Perfect. There were 6 showers, and like 2 of them didn't work. And then one of them would not give hot water no matter what. They tried fixing it all year. And then the rest of them were just covered in random hair from
Yeah, for sure.
a million people, like a million girls. It's terrible. Ugh.
So you were on the all girls floor, right?
Yeah, we only had, like, even the co-ed floor was still split up. Like, there was no boys and girls sharing bathrooms, at least in my dorm, but there was one on my campus that it was brand new my freshman year, and it was like the first co-ed, like real co-ed thing where like even the guys and girls shared bathrooms or whatever, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, like boys and girls sharing everything, and it was so funny hearing everyone on campus kind of because they'd never done that before. But
Sure.
is that how yours were? Did like girls share your bathrooms too, or boys only?
No, it's just guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that our newest dorms were like everyone shared.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You had to be cool to be in those dorms. You had to sign up really early for housing.
Yeah.
And if you missed the deadline at all, then like, or if you were late, then you just got boned.
Yikes. I stayed in the same dorm that my sister stayed in for her first year.
The
Like
same
down
dorm?
Yeah, and I guess that kind of doesn't really mean that much because like most campuses have like a lot of dorms, but IUPUI only has 3, 4.
Okay.
And but our rooms were out of the whole place, our rooms were only like a few doors apart from each other, which is kind of funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you ever run into the spirit of your sister?
No, mostly I just called her, but
You could have just summoned her with a Ouija board, and it
yeah.
would have been.
But she's alive, so
You could just kill her first. I guess that's kind of the roundabout way of talking to your sister, but
yeah, I guess one way. Did you have a random roommate, or did you know yours going in?
random, but ended up. Well, I think we talked about our roommate situation.
Yeah.
When we were playing that epic game in your kitchen. But I had the best roommate of all time.
That's so good.
Perfect roommate material. I haven't talked to him like since really, maybe like 4 or 5 times, but he's an absolute beast.
Awesome. I forgot. Yeah, we did talk about that. I forgot.
Your roommates, they like to invite thieves in. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
My roommates, they're not my roommates.
Your ex roommate, who is that? Is that girl who let the thieves in, not your roommate anymore?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
In your
Who are
new
you referring? Huh?
you when you got like when you switched rooms because you had like a break in.
Oh, yeah, no. That was yeah. Okay, yeah. She's not my roommate anymore. Mm-mm.
Prove it.
Do you want me to take you on a tour of my apartment that you've been several times?
I've never seen it before.
I will carry my laptop around for you.
What's on your shirt?
It is National Mentoring Symposium.
Wow.
It is the worst thing I've ever attended in my life for 2 years in a row. It was required for my scholarship I mentor freshmen, or at least I did. I quit doing that shit because it's terrible. But
why is it terrible? Do they not care about your mentoring?
no, they don't give a shit. And so
Wow.
it's like, I don't really, okay. How it works at my school is you have to go through this really extensive process to even get an interview. You have to pretty much like know somebody and apply, and then you have to be like, they basically have a like X amount of people that they have to let be a mentor based on race and gender, or like sexual orientation. Like if you are not gay, like of a different ethnicity than white, and like something else, your chances are pretty slim. But my sister was on it, and it's called O Team. And basically the whole thing is that you get a week of training in the summer. You sit through all of these seminars and like all of these things, and you sit in on a class that's a first year seminar, like kind of like a freshman. I don't know if they have it at other colleges, or like, I'm sure they do, but it's basically just like getting freshmen oriented with college and like a place to do like simple work and like check in and have like a home base and like make friends kind of thing. So it's designed to be really easy. It's only 1 credit hour, and it's like once a week a lot of times, or I mean, it can be twice a week, but it's usually only like 50 minutes if that's the case. Essentially, though, I, as a mentor, would sit in on that class each week with them. And then on top of that, I meet with them outside of class 3 times in a semester. And that's required for my position. But not every professor of those freshman seminars make those 3 meetings like worth anything. So I can't guarantee that they even show up to these meetings. And basically, what the meetings are about are, you're like asking them, like, so how's college? Like, how likely are you to stay in college? Like, what do you need from me as your mentor? And you just sit with them, and they're like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm
It's tight.
18 years old. I just left high school, and it's like going back to elementary school. And it could be so much better than what it is, but I go to every single class, and then I meet with all of them individually, and I had 25 students. And then you do that 3 times in a semester. So it's busy.
You meet with all of them individually?
Yes, for 30 minutes.
That's epic. And you get how much money for the scholarship?
It was, I think this year was 900 something. Yeah. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's a bad deal.
It is. It's a really bad deal. So I am no longer doing that, but I did it for 2 years, just so that it's a resume thing too. So I mean, whatever. I don't know, but I hate it, so I'm not doing it for my senior year because, yeah, that's it.
How likely are you to stay in college?
Considering I have 1 year left.
How can I help you stay in college?
You can start attending college.
What are other ways? Did you ever have to deal with anyone's actual problems?
Yeah, actually I did. Oh, my first year, I had a class of 27 girls, and my first semester doing it, the professor got fired halfway through because she didn't make a syllabus for the class, didn't show up half of the time, and there was no objectives. We did nothing. And these girls being like, it was a women's study like cohort. They had two other classes attached to it, so they became a pretty like they were used to each other really quickly. And they're a bunch of like very headstrong girls that I'd never really dealt with before, because coming from Valpo, you don't have a lot of like outspoken liberal tended tendencies. So I was way out of my league. And me being a science major too, it was a lot of like writing and reading and things like that. And not that I hadn't done that kind of stuff before. I used to really enjoy it, but I just hadn't in my college career for a while. And so I didn't know how to communicate with these girls, because they're just all very bold.
So what, did they bring you, they brought you problems or no?
Yeah, they would, and things like unrelated to school, things that I had no business talking to them about, pretty much. Like,
I want names.
it was just like boyfriend problems or girlfriend problems. And then this one time this girl looked at me, and she looked at me dead in the face, and she said, "I think we're all a little bit bisexual." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool." Just like ranting about things that just shouldn't be. That it was not the purpose of the mentoring, but like real life family stuff and real life other problems.
Sounds like you got your money's worth.
Or they did.
Yeah. $900.
922 to be exact.
Yikes.
Yeah. Pretty bad. Anything for a scholarship.
So that made me think about this one time Ethan, when he working at Chipotle. He was talking about how long it took him to make like this just not very much money, right? Similar situation. And it was around the time where I'd done this like political bet thing that was super random, and like I accidentally won like a lot of money, and I was like, dude, look, I made all the money that you made over like this month or whatever in like one day doing nothing.
That if that doesn't describe like that entire whole dynamic, you two. That yeah.
But that reminds me that I did purchase another political bet that isn't necessarily going my way so far. But
what is it?
I don't want to say specifically, because or else people are going to mourn on my behalf. But let's just say something democratic.
Okay.
But on a completely different note, what do you think the odds are of Ethan getting a bartending job out here?
Has Ethan ever bartended before or like served or anything?
No.
How quickly I feel like he can pick up on things pretty quickly, right?
How long do you think Ethan will live in College Station for?
Ooh, I don't know. How long are you going to live in College Station for?
At least 7 months. At least 6 more months.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like he'll reevaluate after the summer. But I don't know. Maybe he moves back to Oregon, right? Maybe. Probably not, though. I don't know. Where's his mom right now? Washington?
Yeah.
I have no idea. He's like, you two are like the least predictable people I know. So I couldn't tell you what I think you guys are going to do next week. So,
what are the odds you're going to move to College Station?
I don't know. It just kind of depends on job offers and if I'm going to go straight into grad school and if I actually like College Station, because I've never been in Texas. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is like being isolated a little bit, and not that I wouldn't make friends, but I don't know.
There are good people out here. The best people ever. I actually don't know how many people are here, but I do like a lot of the ones I've met so far. Whereas I hate everyone else everywhere else.
In Indiana, in LA, and
Huh?
No, go.
No, go for it.
No, I was just continuing. You're good.
Oh, well, I would like you to continue.
I was just naming places of people that like naming
Name another place. I dare you. Do it.
I said all of Indiana, and then I said LA, and then I said I was going to say, do you hate everybody in Boise?
No, actually, the only place for the people that I generally really don't like is probably LA. But there's even nice people in LA. You know, there's nice people. Okay, but here, we're gonna segue into our next segment here, which is called Here's this is gonna work. Oh shit. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so you're gonna pick which one of these two animals you would adopt.
Okay. Out of those two right there, or
out of these two.
Okay. Probably the one on the left. Oh wait. Like cats, or are you showing me another picture?
No, just the two cats.
Left.
Wow. So you just want this one to die?
No.
Okay, all right. Now I have to pick between these two.
Let's go right.
Okay. Any reason for that choice?
I don't know, the one on the right looks kind of goofy. I like it.
Well, I'm sure the other giraffe will be hearing about that. Let's try.
Guess what?
What about?
I watched a video of a guy. What in the world?
You get to pick one of these three.
Definitely the elephant.
Okay, last one. Which one do you take?
The cow.
Wow. A true vegan. Animals and humans are equal.
I learned something today. So I've never really been super into supplements or anything like that, just because I don't know. I guess I've always just been more focused on like the nutrition side of things, and like while supplements are part of it, I just whatever. But I learned that collagen is made from the like hooves of cows, so vegans can't eat it.
What is collagen in?
Huh?
What is that in?
Collagen is like an isolated substance. Like it's like an additive, like a supplement kind of thing. Like it's a powder. I don't think it's made in pills or anything, but
in like food or anything.
It's made up of like isolated peptides and like amino acids. So yeah, you can get certain amino acids from like that's what it is. Like it's literally like ground up like food.
What I'm trying to figure out is what would you not be able to? Is it literally just you can't take pills of collagen, or like is there some kind of food that's already made with this that you can't eat anymore? Or
no, it's like just collagen specifically. Like it's not even pill form; it's like powder.
Do you just rip a line of that, or what?
Did I what?
If you want collagen in your system, how do you get it in there?
I'd have to do. It's like isolated, like versions of it that are all plant based. So like there's I was just reading about it. Hold on.
No, I mean with the hoof stuff.
Oh my god!
To consume that, do you put it in a capsule or what do you do? Put it in a smoothie?
You put it in like water or like something to drink. Yeah.
Toby-Wan Kenobi said fruits and vegetables, which is a little bit out of context, so I'm not sure what that means, but
I think he's probably getting at like where, like what foods it's in, but pretty much like the amino acids are the whole like purpose for it, and you cannot get, I guess, this one specific amino acid from from plants is what the whole thing is. Like you have to get this one specific amino acid.
I've heard that.
Collagen.
I've also heard that there's some combination, like you can get a lot of them individually, but apparently it's like the combination that they're already in is maybe like better for you, and that's found in like more meats.
See, now hemp protein, like isolated by itself, it contains all 9 essential amino acids. But there's not a lot of like complete proteins out there, I guess, is the
But
whole.
there's like 20 something total, right?
Right, and only 9 of them are considered essential.
Okay. Yeah, hemp is pretty good though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I ever use protein powder, that's the one that I choose because that's the one like after workouts that I like to go to. It helps me recover a lot faster, actually.
Last night I went to the skate park in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And, what?
Nothing. Said skater boy.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, but it was really reminiscent of a simpler time. when I was in LA, it was like my favorite thing to do, and like all of my good memories from LA, like after going to school there, were just like going to skate parks in the middle of the night. And it was crazy because like now I did that in College Station, and I like realized that I can do that, and so it's like the only thing that I really liked about this other place, I realized like I can do at the place that I live now. And it's just like this is the best place.
Good realization.
Yeah.
I think I need an outlet, like a hobby, something that I need to pick up on outside of school and work. Because
Which ones are you entertaining right now? What are some ideas you're playing with?
I definitely have been thinking about getting back into yoga. It's more like fitness based kind of things, but like not going to the gym. I absolutely hate going to the gym because I feel like I don't really get that much done. But the Orange Theory thing that I had mentioned like a couple weeks ago, that is really fun because it's group based and it's an hour and it's just like in and out. But that shit's so expensive. I cannot afford it.
Well, how much is it?
It's like $159 a month.
What?
Yeah.
Can you go unlimited times?
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
It is. I mean, just for me because I'm going to be the one paying for it. So,
Is it social, would you say?
um, not during the workouts, but before and after, people are like kind of hyped beforehand, and afterwards, you just talk about how much it kicked your butt. You're like, yeah, it was a hard one.
Hard today, hard as usual. Funny.
I guess it could be if you go with friends, but
What about Soul Cycle?
cycling, like,
Try that.
mm-mm,
Is that popular out where in Indianapolis?
mm-mm. Cycling classes are though kind of bar is kind of
What's that?
popular by me. What's that?
Yeah, what's bar?
Yeah, it's like a mix of yoga and Pilates. So it's like, and you use like a ballet bar for the workouts. So it's a lot of strength training and like endurance for your muscles kind of thing. But I've been thinking about like, I don't know, yoga or something music or like writing. I don't know. I've always had a really, I don't know, I've always journaled and stuff, but never like anything, you know, whatever.
Anything what?
Anything like beyond my own thoughts, never like stories or anything. Do you journal or do you like write?
You could start releasing a blog. Speak journals.
What would I write?
Do you journal things that are like really inappropriate that you couldn't share online?
No.
Okay.
Do you? Are there things that you wouldn't share on the stream right now? Like things that go through your head? Do you really like, do you filter yourself more so now?
No, I don't think I filter myself. I think that I never say anything out loud that I wouldn't say out loud otherwise. Like I'm not gonna like, obviously depending on who I'm having a conversation with or who I'm talking to, I'm gonna like change what I say because that's like how relationships work. But
Mhm.
like I would not change it for the stream and for the like my conversations with Ethan are very like revealing and hilarious and like sometimes like really critical, but it's all like jokes, but I don't hold back at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely, yeah, I definitely write things that I wouldn't like say out loud because it's like more of like a stream of consciousness, like trying to get thoughts out and stuff. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that what you do too?
Um, yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. It's more like sometimes I will just sit and just like type things out just to be able to like get things out. Not so much like thinking about it or like putting any like real thought behind
Yeah.
it. If I've had a long day or like if it's been a stressful week or if I've had something on my mind that I need to work through.
Yeah.
Sometimes just typing, like not even type just not even paying attention to spelling or like anything. I just go
Right.
for it. And even just like 5 or 10 minutes of that is good, but oftentimes I'll just be able to keep going and like
Yeah.
my train of thought will switch. Like
Sure.
I'll go on a tangent about something else. Like tonight, okay, for instance, I will sit and I make myself mad because I don't do you have a Twitter?
No.
Okay, don't ever get one because it's stupid. So I've had one for since I don't know, my sophomore year of high school and I've deleted it so many times, but when I get bored after a while, I'll re-download it, and I just read stuff that pisses me off.
Yeah. Like what?
People making stupid comments about things. Like tonight, what did it? This girl who I don't know. I've known her since high school, and she never went to my high school, but she always hung around kids from my school. Like she had trouble fitting in at her school. She's from Chesterton, and basically like she had made a comment about measles being you know what I'm gonna read this thread because it
So I have to listen to
genuinely
the vaccine argument on Twitter right now.
there's always
I do
people
not
doing
want
that.
to hear this argument.
I don't do not care. You've got to listen to it. First thing it pulled up. Okay, so she tweets and she puts out 3 links to the CDC website, and it's pretty much her caption is y'all aren't smarter than science. Do your research. If you're getting vaccine information from other moms on social media, you're stupid. Go to a doctor, look on government sites. And then she puts like 4 articles, like the articles, and she highlights results of spread of communities with groups of unvaccinated people. And then like it's all in the context of measles. And then she starts a thread of it, and then she says measles was eradicated, y'all. Eradicated. First of all, that's not fucking true. Like eradicated would imply worldwide that nowhere had.
I'm in a Twitter thread right now listening to you speak.
She goes,
You're adding her verbally.
I know that's a big word for y'all anti-vaxxers, but that means it went bye-bye. It was gone until one day after how many years of vaccines, moms decided they were bad for my baby. Bad for my baby. Quotes with the little like SpongeBob thing, whatever. And then she continues and says, also, I won't sit here and say there haven't been adverse effects from vaccines. Yes, some people may actually be allergic to one specific vaccine, which is fine. There are reasons medically that a child shouldn't get a certain vaccine, but that doesn't mean all vaccines. Immunocompromised does, and age plays a factor. But if you're allergic to one vaccine, you aren't allergic to them all. Anyways, the rest of it's irrelevant. However, just the fact that she gets on a tangent and within the first two tweets she's wrong, and it's not even that I disagree with her, vaccinate your children, whatever, but first of all, stop judging people because just stop. And then second of all, you're wrong. It just pisses me off.
I'm with Toby One Kenobi on this one. He said, "You need goat yoga, Maddie."
Yeah.
He said that a while ago, but I think it applies now. Just
I need to chill the hell out. It pisses me off.
I think the reason that Twitter is my least favorite social media platform, even though I don't have one, is that the written word is so easy to take out of context and make like antagonistic in itself, and then trying to summarize complex ideas in really brief tweets just adds to like way more interpretation, which makes things worse, a lot worse.
And it's not even the first, like,
it's like a battleground. Like anything you say, even if it's like completely innocuous, like it just can become fodder for an argument.
I almost commented on it just because I was so mad, but I didn't. And then I'm
sure whatever you said would probably be like just as easy for someone to be like,
this is wrong.
Yeah.
It is not the first time I've like made a comment about vaccine stuff though. There's one girl. Oh, it's like about like polio and how again it was eradicated, and to a degree she was right again, but we've still seen polio-like strains of illness for years and years in Minnesota. Like there have been polio adjacent things that have been happening, and we stopped vaccinating for polio as a society a really long time ago anyway.
You know it's gonna be hype?
Huh?
So you know it's gonna be hype?
What?
When we have a what's it called? Biolog. When there's warfare where you use
bioterrorism.
Like, what's that called?
Bioterrorism.
Bioterrorism? Or like
using anthrax or
no, when someone busts out the like Russian lab developed like impossible to stop smallpox stuff, like
jeez.
That's gonna be
end of the world shit. Yeah, it's called bioterrorism.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, you know, smallpox still exists in 2 places in the world, right?
Which ones?
One of them is in Moscow, and the other one is at the CDC in a vault, unbeknown to most people.
Yeah, and it's like weaponized though. They've made like different divisions of smallpox that are like they can't be like vaccinated for and stuff.
You think so? Actually,
no, like, it's not like in Russia. Like they actually 100% have. Like,
the United States has contemplated like completely wiping smallpox out, like getting rid of the specimen, but that would mean that there would no longer be like we couldn't vaccinate against it anymore. Like there wouldn't be enough of that to, you know, like we couldn't vaccinate if that were the case. If there was an attack, if Russia ever decided to do it, we could. If that were ever a thing, as long as we had the specimen of it, we could probably make a vaccine or at least like vaccinate people with what we have right now.
Toby's got a good point. Said those are the 2 places we are let to know smallpox is. Maybe a couple other. Maybe China's got a lab too, huh? Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
China's a little shady.
China's a little shady.
The government, the international regulations all the time. North Korea, you think they don't have a little smallpox vial somewhere?
Nah, I don't think so. Not North Korea.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know. There's so many dangerous weapons. Diseases are just one.
My dad has a smallpox vaccine, like one of the big, huge ones. Yeah, he had to get it for the Air Force.
Yeah, one of my so I was at an international school. Some of the countries where the kids were born, even people my age, had the scars.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. The last known case was in 1976. The last case. Not if there was one, we'd know about it, but yeah, that was the last case. And even before then, it was like, I think it had been years before then. So I think the 1976 case was accidental. Also, it was like from a lab kind of a thing.
Does smallpox kill you?
Yeah.
Black. Yeah, that would suck. There's also probably just gonna be another like remember when HIV came around and it just didn't have there was none before? Like that's totally gonna happen again.
Yeah. There even since the 70s, there have been 30 new like crazy diseases that we had no idea about before.
We haven't even had any really good ones yet. Like
Are you kidding me?
Ebola was like okay, like but what about in America? We haven't had any hard hitters in America.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I know, but I'm just saying we're due. We got one coming. A slow burner, one that gets in everybody's body and then hits us all at once. You know.
What do you think that's is it gonna be viral or bacterial or what's it
I
gonna
don't
be?
know enough. I don't even know the difference. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Right. Mm.
But I'm working on one in my lab right now.
Oh, perfect. Is that in your closet right behind you?
Yeah, it's a mix of smallpox and the cold.
The cold.
Small cold. But you can get vaccinated for it, so.
Oh man. People tried to say that's another thing. I was on Twitter a few weeks ago, and someone tried to say that oh my god, that you could be vaccinated against a plague.
Which one?
The
The
bubonic.
plague?
Yeah. And you can't be vaccinated against the plague is all the same thing. It originated from the same bacteria. It just develops differently and then it can be spread and become like different kinds of things. So the bubonic plague is bacterial. Yersinia pestis is the exact bacteria if you would like to know. And it can be cured and we still see it all the time. People still get the plague all the fucking time.
It's pretty fun.
It's crazy.
At least we don't get cholera as much.
Yeah, at least not in the United States. Africa, it's kind of another story.
Yeah. I think we should look at Africa as the pinnacle of global health and try to emulate their policies and their development.
Yeah, absolutely.
Viral because of virulence, morbidity, and mortality. What does that mean?
So he's saying that if there were going to be something that was gonna like the thing that you were talking about, the disease that's gonna creep up on all of us, he's saying it would be viral. I mean,
science chat. That's what he says.
science chat. Yeah. I took an entire class on this actually. I took an entire class on like infectious diseases, and I think the scariest ones are prion diseases. And which are so like, do you know like what mad cow disease is? How that it mimics Alzheimer's, but like really, really rapidly. Like it unravels your brain pretty much. So it's a change in proteins in your brain, and basically it just like it can change other ones around it once there's even just one that mutates. Crazy. So mad cow disease. I mean, there's probably
Alzheimer's does too.
kind of Alzheimer's doesn't work like that, but it has the same symptoms pretty much, like memory loss and like unable to. You just like start unraveling and you lose motor functions and speech and personality traits and things like that. But the prion diseases, it can happen in as little as a few weeks, and as Alzheimer's can develop over years. And
you get Alzheimer's really fast, and then you disintegrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Blast. I heard if you play ping pong, it delays the onset of Alzheimer's.
Ping pong?
Yep.
Because, really?
Dr. Oz told me this.
Dr. Oz.
Because the part of your brain where like you see the ball and you have to predict where it's going to be, somehow somehow fortifies that part of your brain, which like disintegrates fast if you get Alzheimer's. Ping pong. Which I'm going to get, by the way, because everyone in my family gets it.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. You don't absolutely have to get it.
I just said okay. I believe you.
Your environmental like your lifestyle factors and like your zip code can pretty much predict whether or not like you're gonna get it. It's crazy. Your zip code is the biggest
Okay.
um like predictive measure of your life expectancy, like more so than your specific genetic code. Crazy.
But
But
is your zip code a better predictor of specific diseases?
no, not necessarily specific diseases, but what what I'm trying to get at is the things available to you and like your specific lifestyle choices, things that like that includes where you live and like your zip code is a good prediction of that.
So you're saying the way I live is going to prevent me from getting Alzheimer's?
Do you know what Alzheimer's is?
No.
Okay, so basically think of it, people get Alzheimer's and dementia kind of like mixed up, but essentially what it is the small like blood vessels in your brain, they're no longer getting the oxygen flow that it needs. So like they're dying off essentially. And so you start losing like those parts of your brain slowly. And so people think that Alzheimer's, there's actually a vaccine for it now, I think. Actually, I'm going to look that up. People say that they're Alzheimer's vaccine. Hold on. This is pretty new. I don't know. I'm not going to sift through all the articles right now, but essentially, yeah, that's what it is. And so you can prevent that. It happens a lot of times with blockage of like arteries, so high cholesterol, like high fatty diets. Like
Damn.
the American diet is essentially doing it to us.
So I have
But
to
by remaining active, staying healthy, like eating well, and avoid. I mean, the way that if you were to continue to eat how you do now, I mean, in my opinion, minus some meat choices, like you'd be fine. But
Oh yeah, well, transimible spongiform encephalitis or
encephalitis,
prions like Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease or
you
C.
call it Yaakov's disease. That's the human form of mad cow disease.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to just say mad cow diseases.
That's why I said it. If you would watch What the Health, you would know these things.
All right. Okay, I get it. I might watch that soon.
You're never gonna watch it.
I might. I really might.
You really, really should, just for the sake of like being able to make fun of me more so for it.
Or yeah, maybe then I would know what mad cow disease is more. And then I could make up my own disease called mad chicken disease. The chickens eat the mad cows meat.
No. The cows eat the chickens.
No.
And it becomes mad chicken disease.
This is my disease.
From cows.
It becomes twice as strong because the chickens eat it and then they're really mad. It's called the really mad chicken.
So they can eat a whole cow.
Yeah, the chicken. It's really strong chickens that do it.
Like really big ones.
They look like turkeys, but they're chickens. Mad chicken disease already exists. God.
Does it really?
Taking the wind out of my sails, Tony.
Damn.
Tony, sorry, Toby. I looks like I have mad chicken disease.
Isn't it crazy? There's so many like chronic diseases are what kill most Americans now. Like they're in the top 10 causes primarily.
Give me some good chronic diseases.
Cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes.
Okay.
Cancer.
Okay. And cancer.
I think top 2 right now are cardiovascular and then cancer.
Why do you think Americans like? Actually, I don't know. Why do you think American culture is so like bad with like food and health and stuff compared to other places?
Capitalism.
Okay.
Honestly. I mean, not only, but I think it's kind of a vicious cycle, I think, that companies want to make money and the consumers want easy, like convenient things that are, I don't know. I think, well, some people want to eat healthy, but at the same time, the food that we've been eating for so long is a we is addictive, and there's additives and things that keep you like continuously eating, and then there's the factor that it's convenient and cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and that, I mean, everyone's so busy that it doesn't, there's not a lot of incentive to eat healthy other than, when you get sick. A lot of people don't really consider nutrition to be as big a part as it really is until you're getting diagnoses like hypertension and diabetes and or pre-diabetes and whatever else. And I think that up until that point, there's kind of like this whole do whatever you want kind of mentality, or like if you even go on any kind of social media, like a lot of the jokes are centered around like eating as much junk food as you possibly can and like those kinds of things. And there's just not a lot of healthy habits promoted in America, I would say so much. Like we're not like, okay, if you look at like China and Japan, like they're very rooted in healthy kind of habits, and even like Europe, there are certain things that are completely banned in Europe that we have in our food every single day here in the United States, whether it's, FDA or whatever the cause may be. I mean, I think that there's just like a shift in culture a lot that plays a role, and then other things too.
What do you think is the best disease you could buy off the black market?
Smallpox.
I wonder if you can browse the Silk Road without having to get a separate like whatever thing. Have you ever gone on the Silk Road?
No, I was just about to ask. So, have you been on the like dark web or whatever?
Yeah, one
That
time
sounds interesting.
I downloaded it onto a computer. Like I don't even know what it. I don't know what it is anymore. I probably didn't even know at the time, but like it's like a separate. I don't know. It's a separate, some completely different thing.
Okay.
And I went on the Silk Road and I was like looking at like drugs and stuff, and I was like, this is crazy.
I've heard you can buy like prostitutes and drugs and like guns and crazy shit.
Yeah, I probably didn't even explore it to its full capabilities, but I felt like a badass when I was on there. I was like, I was so young too. I think I was like seventh or eighth grade or something.
Michael,
It's the perfect time to be on there.
jeez,
I only made a couple of orders. And
you actually ordered things? Oh my
I
god.
was probably way too scared for that. And actually, the real reason that I didn't order anything is because I had no fucking idea what a BTC was, or I think that's every. But I was like, "What is this currency, and why is like a pound of cocaine like zero point 0.1 of the like what is this?" And I googled it, and I was like, "What currency is this?" And there's like no results online, and it was Bitcoin. But
I was just about to ask BC what, I don't know what the T in the middle was, but was it Bitcoin really?
yeah, and I didn't understand. Like, it only clicked in my head like way later that that's what was going on, and so the main reason I didn't get anything was because I didn't understand the currency, and I was like, "This, what is this? How do I get this? I don't know how to get." And so it's too complicated for me to get Bitcoin.
Okay, so how does what like Bitcoin? I get the idea. It's like what just
You have to buy as much Bitcoin as you can right now. Invest all your money, your parents' money, grandparents.
right, wrong actually, but okay, explain Bitcoin to me.
All right, so um, it's like it's like a money that a bunch of people like it.
Like not a real currency, but you can. Like people accept it, kind of.
Well, the thing is, it's as real of a currency, like technically, as anything else that we're using right now.
Mhm.
Um, because like that no American money is like the only. I mean, gold was like the last thing that was like a real currency, right?
Mhm.
Or like some kind of like shells and gems and stuff because it's like
Yeah.
physical things, but
Right.
there's limited amounts of. But um, I think the idea, Toby said Ponzi scheme. It's like everyone who has Bitcoin or like engages in transactions is like part of the reason that it can exist, and so um, like it relies on each member of the system to like be what it is, and so there's no like one person in charge. Like if you have more of it, then you have like you wield more power, but like the system itself is built up on each individual rather than one establishment being like, here is this is what this is worth. I can change what this is worth and I can create more
Hmm.
or devalue it. I don't know if that's a good explanation or not. I don't. Uh, One of the reasons why I didn't really like get incredibly involved with like day trading and stuff of cryptocurrencies back in that boom days,
Right.
as I was like, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to spend the time to like fully understand this. And if I'm not going to fully understand it, then I shouldn't be like
A part of
screwing around.
right.
That being said, I did spend money on.
That's great.
I didn't lose any money. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. Do you know?
Maybe I
I
made some money. Who knows?
hate you. Currency itself is kind of a strange concept if you think about it.
I think we should use diseases as currency.
Ooh. What would be the
You're poor if you have diseases, and you're rich if you don't.
Oh, speaking of, do you know that there's a strain of gonorrhea that cannot be cured right now?
I heard that's happening with other STIs too.
Yeah, and tuberculosis, other things.
Burk.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
um,
Isn't that scary though?
yeah, I mean, I guess.
Antimicrobial resistance is so scary because not even just STIs, but sooner or later people are gonna get an infection from like surgery or something and they're not gonna be able
True.
to.
Yeah, that's pretty sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's whack. I'm assuming that there'll be some kind of medical breakthrough that just fixes that.
Really? That's a really good assumption, Michael. Bang.
Happened last time, right? We always come through just in the nick of time. We're all gonna starve to death in the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, and then we invented nitrogen-based fertilizer, and then we didn't all starve to death. That's going to be the antibacterial breakthrough that we need in 2025.
Are you gonna be in charge of that or
Someone else smarter is. That's you have to pay them, Maddie.
I have to pay them?
Yeah, or else you're not going to do it.
Damn, that's a lot of pressure.
Use your $922 for a good cause.
No, it's gone. I already used it. I used it to pay my shitty school.
No, it's a good school.
Is any school a good school?
Well, I have a good question.
Hear it.
Okay, let me tell it to you really quick.
Good question to ask.
What is the first thing you notice about a person?
Ooh, that's hard. I don't know, actually. It varies person to person. I guess something that stands out about them. It's something that makes them different. Like the one thing that like jumps out at you immediately. I guess the one thing that like you know what I'm trying to get at kind of thing.
So are you talking about like a personality trait or like a physical?
Physical because
Like if they have big ears and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, or like something that they have chosen to do to themselves, like a tattoo, or like, I don't know, a different hair color or facial hair, or like whatever. Something that makes them different from a general face. Because you know how some people just have like a familiar kind of face, like nothing really distinctive.
Do you think you'd ever do one of the bull nose rings?
Sure wouldn't. Nope. Not
Why?
if my life depended on it.
Yeah, that's what you say now.
No.
What if it gets
I did want to get my daith pierced for a really long time.
is that this thing?
No, it's like up inside. No, there. Yeah, you're getting up. It's like, look it up. Look up daith piercing. No.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, it's a
What if
lot.
my ears looked like this? Would you still talk to me?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. What if they look like this? And I
No.
couldn't hear anything. I already can't hear anything. So
Apparently,
what about your tongue?
what about my tongue?
Would you get your tongue pierced?
No. What would you get pierced?
My right ear.
Been there, done that. Isn't that the wrong ear? Doesn't that mean you're gay or something like that?
I don't know. Someone from the stream told me that it was actually the left ear that means you're gay. But that was not what I was told at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that's really relevant anymore, I guess.
I mean, which one do you have pierced?
Both of them. Twice.
Damn.
I mean, I'm double gay or quadruple gay.
Michael, how come you don't wear the heat earring anymore?
I'm so glad you do not wear that earring anymore.
It's symbolic of my destructive lifestyle in Indiana. I took it out was the day I cleansed myself and became a new person. So I threw it away, and I was proud to move on. Being gay, it is not true which ear. I think that means it doesn't really matter which ear.
Got it. That used to be all the thing back in my middle school, high school days. If you, like, which ear you had pierced. Not even high school, it was more middle school. But I remember when there was like a fad for some of the kids to get their ears pierced.
Like the boys?
Yeah.
Well, that makes me want to ask you this next question. Oh, okay. I'm gonna make my own version of this one. What are 3 habits that improve your life?
3 habits that improve my life. Drinking a lot of water throughout the day.
Okay.
That is serious. I notice huge differences when I drink enough water. 3 habits. Moisturizer. Really improves the life. Keeps my skin clear.
Okay.
Um,
Everywhere, hands and face.
Whole body, everywhere.
Wow.
Taking, like, setting aside time to chill out every once in a while, like at least an hour a day to just like reflect and sit and chill out. Whether it's like even just flipping through like an old TV show or like sitting in a bath and doing nothing or whatever. Something that allows your mind to just process things or not at the same time, I guess, to just kind of relax.
Nice.
All right, I want to ask you a question. Questions to ask.
You can. Ask me anything. Can you tell the difference?
Hold on. Ooh, here's a good one. Could you live without the internet?
Yeah, I think the world would probably be like a better place without the internet. I think that as like human beings, we're kind of like best off when we're in like the nature environment. probably like the way the Native Americans lived, or maybe like a little more primitive, was like close to ideal for like human happiness and life satisfaction, and like not having like all the mental disorders and diseases and like shittiness that we have. But
Mhm.
um, in this day and age, I think in order to be part of society, you have to either be in like a really good commune or embrace it. And so, if I had to personally live without the internet, I think that would be really difficult in this day and age if everyone else was still using it.
Okay. Good answer. Snaps for you.
Thank you.
Actually, there is one thing that I wanted to touch on with that. The whole like there's still people, many people in Africa, like different tribes and things that still live very minimalistic, like similarly to Native Americans and like very close to their ancestral roots. And they say that they're of some of the healthiest and happiest people in the whole world. Like they live solely off of survival instincts. Like they don't have to worry about like they're worried about where the next meal is going to come from and hunting, gathering, like those kinds of things rather than, anything materialistic. I
Yeah,
think it's
that's
crazy
epic.
that people still live like that, and it's just like it's so cool. And yet they still like they're healthy. They've got exceptional muscle tone and like
Right.
immune systems. It's nuts.
Yeah, but it would be really hard for. I mean, you know about the Khmer Revolution?
Mm-mm.
Um, maybe it's the Cambodian genocide. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, you've heard of this.
I think so.
So there was a group of like farmers in Cambodia, and they all like united, and they were like, "We're going back to our roots. Like, no more education, no more like educated people, no glasses, no like we're gonna kill everyone who has an education, and we're gonna like become primitive again."
Hmm.
And like they tried that, and they literally killed like a lot of people, and there was a
Okay.
big like, internal war in
Yeah.
Cambodia.
Okay. I'd heard about the genocide. I didn't know the reasoning behind it. So
That's
that's
pretty much
interesting.
right.
That's kind of fucked.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like they were like that's what it would take, or like I mean, not that that's what
No, you're right though.
that's an attempt to go back to like that lifestyle.
I was just about to ask if you think that there's like any kind of reversal or if it's just going to get worse. Do you think?
I don't know if it's gonna get. I mean, theoretically, like because I don't really like know that much, I think that it's possible that like inventions and stuff actually make things better, and we reach a point where it's like, you know what I mean. But who knows? It also could go to the point where we literally reach some stage of technology and stuff where we're like where everyone decides and people are like educated and like woke enough to like
Whoa.
everyone comes to a common consensus and they're like, we're gonna get rid of everything. Which that would probably never happen, but it's possible. Who knows?
Gosh. I think we're kind of at a crossroads actually as a society.
Right now.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of been coming like I think our generation, I don't know, we're kind of I guess every generation says it, but like we're kind of a new breed. I mean, there's a lot of like I don't know. I think millennials are so strange. Some of them, anyways. Like the things that we're focused on are so different than that of like what our parents were, or at least, I mean,
Yeah.
your parents are a lot younger than mine, but specifically, both of them, I guess, really, because if you, I mean, it's not that it shows so much just politically, but like, I mean, millennials our age they tend more towards like Bernie Sanders, people who like think more socialistically and
Yeah,
like
no, we live in like a completely different, like not even social, not even we live in a completely different environment of like
yeah,
interactions.
definitely. Yeah. And I think that our focuses on like what's important have become different even.
You
I
know
don't
what's
know.
going to be even more different is when the generation gets raised where VR is like ubiquitous and like they spend like as much time in VR as they spend in normal reality. That's going to be the next big step where it's like
Yeah.
that's going to be like pretty intense.
I don't like the thought of that.
I think it's going to be it's like so inevitable. It's ridiculous. Like that's the most inevitable. Like everyone is looking for an escape in some way, and like people are using like YouTube, Netflix, like all these things are just like get involved in a different story, and so you like partially so you don't think about your own, right? And like there's nothing more immersive than like literally becoming like haptic, like it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. Imagine the kids who play Call of Duty and they're like they spend hours like with a really like with a plastic remote, like looking at a flat screen.
Yeah.
Those addictions are ramp, and like not addictions is even a bad thing, but like there are kids who spend all their time doing that. Like imagine when they're actually in it with like a fake, like a gun that feels like a gun, and they're like, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a
virtual reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fortnite. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Like the idea you're gonna be stuck in the past.
Good, leave me there.
It's gonna be so epic. I'm not gonna start playing video games big time until that happens, and then I'm gonna
drop. And then we're never gonna hear from you again.
Yeah, it's gonna be more fun to play video games than it is gonna be to like live normally.
That's so weird. How fat do you think people are gonna be then?
It depends, because if the technology comes far enough where like your movement is part of it, you have to have some movement, but like if you could be like running and stuff and you're on some sort of like, you know what I mean?
How would that even, you can't run if you're not like.
No, but there's solutions to that. there are already solutions to that, but they're just not like packageable, and you can't buy it from a department store and bring it home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of advancement, and that it's like surprising to me how like early it still is, considering that technology's been around. But I think once the advancement wave like catches on, that it's going to be like people are going to realize it's the next big thing, and it's going to be a tidal wave.
So what you're saying is I should invest now.
I have no idea. I'm not investing because I don't have any money to invest. But I think that you should be on the lookout in the next 15 years for kids living entirely different lifestyles than we live at this moment.
Yeah, definitely. That's every kind of generation. Like there's always this one thing that kind of, at least technologically speaking, like the iPhone is kind of the one thing for our generation, I would say. And regular cell phones probably for the generation before us. It was being able to call people from, outside of your household.
Ironically, like cell phones were almost like part of our generation. When cell phones became like a realistic thing to use, like we were probably the first generation of like real cell phone users.
Yeah, you're probably right. I remember when I was little, my dad, it was so strange. He was the only one. My mom didn't have one, I think, at the time, or like maybe a small one, cheap one. But like, my dad had this Nokia that was still so old, and it was his company, and I could play Snake on it as a little kid, and I would just like sit in the car and like.
Yeah, same. BlackBerry, Brick Breaker. These are games we'll never. The most timeless games.
Back in our day.
Okay, I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna go grocery shopping with my uncle.
Grocery shopping? Isn't it midnight?
Sure is. Almost 12:30.
What grocery store?
HEB. It's like 24/7 here. But my uncle's been like napping on the couch. He has a car here, and I really want to go grocery shopping while the car is here. Like the groceries. So I'm gonna go check on that, and I really have to pee. But I wasn't sure if I should pee during this or after, but I feel like this is a good time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. All right. Well, you have fun grocery shopping.
But I have one more question to ask you first.
Okay.
And this one I'm thinking of on the spot, and I'm not reading it from
You're lying.
questions, this or that, weird. All right, you have to pick the category. Actually, no, I'm going to do deep.
Uh-huh.
It's really funny. Pretty deep question. Oh, okay, this is pretty good. All right, what do you consider to be the highlight of your life?
Oh my God. How am I supposed to do that in the highlight of my life? I think I think meeting my best friend, honestly.
Meeting your best friend?
Yeah, Tessa. She has been one of the most influential people in my whole life. She's really reframed how I see the world.
Was the meeting
People,
itself really a like special moment?
no. It was very casual.
Okay.
But it was also like kind of one of those things that had it not happened, who knows if it like we would have ever been friends.
What about like one moment that was like really exceptional in terms of like bliss or enjoyment?
Mm, um I don't know. I'm kind of like dancing back and forth between like really big exciting things or like really quiet moments that were just like really like pinpoint where something changed in my head. So there's like a couple of times where I can think where I've been like with a group of people that I've actually felt like actually like a real connection with and like fun and accepted and like a part of something. But then there's like this other time where I'm thinking of I was on a secret like garden at a hospital that grows vegetables for their patients to eat, and I was in Indianapolis, and I was still pretty new, and it just kind of like clicked, things that started just like coming together, like what I was passionate about, what I cared about, and like getting out of Valpo kind of helped me realize a lot of stuff, I guess. But that was a really pivotal moment that day. I can remember.
I really hope you don't get mad cow disease.
Thank you. I hope you don't get smallpox.
What a great note. Until next time.
Bye.